ini fresi. Gimastaculum gehirasonhu. Imastaculum I coraçonhu. Zanimos figuranina senhorhu. Refresta mais sada. Bye pertehi. Zanhu defendi. Inengi katura ilanguahi I hanam zanantanam chamor.
Iranshaku diretu izazuas tata.
Estuo fitma gihu biblia. Zandivenderahu ivandanan guahan.
Buenas and Hafide, Guahusi Tiffany Kirigua, thank you for watching our annual Mes Timoru television program, Hestorian y Islata. In this final episode, we will hear another amazing fact from the Guampedia.com book titled 101 Amazing Facts About Guam. And of course, Polly Eric Forbes will share with us the Chamorro phrase, Manana Sizus. Then Rufina Mendiola from the Department of Education will share the legend of the boy who leaped to Rhoda. Sit back and take in this celebration of Mes Timoru. Welcome back to Hestorian y Islata. Right now, we will take a listen to Polly Eric Forbes as he breaks down the Chamorro word, manana.
More and more, we hear the morning greeting, Manana si Zuus. Many people use the phrase, but perhaps have no idea what manana means. More people understand that Zuus means God, but what about that word, manana? Some people are surprised that our older people themselves are surprised, if not shocked, when they hear younger people use the phrase Manana si Zuus as a morning greeting. The fact is, not long ago, no one said Manana si Zuus as a morning greeting. That expression was not a morning greeting, it was a statement of fact. And here's why. The word manana means clear, visible, not only to the human eye, but also to the human understanding. If you wanted someone to speak clearly and not in mysterious puzzles, you could tell them, Sangoniham manana naha. Tell us clearly. If a problem were evident or obvious, clearly seen to everyone, one could say, manana ha. It's clear, obvious to everyone. So the word manana also came to mean the clearness of dawn, when the sun rose and its light made clear and visible the world around us. Manana esta, it's already daylight. The sun has come up, it is dawn. Why manana? Because with the dawn, everything around us becomes clearly seen. Now, for reasons not totally clear to us, our elders added God, Zuus, into the equation. Certainly the word Zuus, which is the Chamorro pronunciation of the Spanish word Dios, for God, and maybe even the idea itself of a universal supreme being came to us from the Spanish. So perhaps this was the Christian religion influencing the thinking of our elders many years ago. Since they understood that God was in charge of the universe and that God kept the world moving according to physical laws He put in place, perhaps this is the reason why our elders said, Manana si Zuus, meaning that God and all His works in creation, which had remained mostly hidden in darkness during the night, became clear and evident at dawn. So Manana si Zuus meant it is dawn, the day has come. God, through the sun He created, is making everything around us manana, clear and visible. Manana si Zuus for our grandparents was a statement of fact. It is dawn, and not a greeting. Their greeting for morning was buenos dias, borrowed from the Spanish. But some people today want to eliminate as much Spanish as they can from our language and look for strictly Chamorro words to replace the borrowed Spanish word. The interesting thing, though, with manana si Zuus is that the word Zuus and perhaps even the idea it expresses, is borrowed from the Spanish. Thus, the last part of the phrase Manana si Zeus is no replacement of Spanish at all. I hope that all this has become Manana to you and to me. For more information about my blog, go to PaulieEric, 1E, PaulieEric.blogspot.com. And for more information about the DVD I Am Chamorro, go to IamChamorro.com, IamChamorro, one phrase, IamChamorro.com.
Thank you so much, PaulieEric, for breaking that down and making it Manana for us. Still to come, the legend of the boy who leaped from Guam to Rota. But right now, Rita Nauta from Guampedia.com will share with us another factoid on how the Chamorro people before us traveled the sea, from their book 101 Amazing Facts About Guam.
Buenas Tautau Guahan, Guahu si Rita Nauta from Guampedia.com, a community project that highlights the unique Chamorro heritage and history of Guam and the Marianas. We invite you to know our island and know our history with Guampedia.com's book, 101 Amazing Facts About Guam. Did you know that the early European visitors to the islands of the Chamorros were greatly impressed by their fast and agile outrigger canoes? The Europeans called the canoes flying proas because of their speed. These vessels were so fast that one voyage from Guam to Manila reportedly took only 4 days, which means they traveled more than 20 miles per hour. Ancient Chamorros, like other Micronesian islanders, used an impressive array of skills to navigate their magnificent ocean vessels, or sadzantasi. Most important was the use of the rising and setting of stars, ocean wave patterns, bird flights, and sea life to plot a course. The ability to navigate allowed Chamorros to travel and maintain connections with people from other islands hundreds of miles away. Learn more amazing facts about our island and history with 101 Amazing Facts About Guam, available online at Guampedia.com or at UOG's Triton Bookstore and Iputian, the Star Boutique at the Chamorro Village. Si Zeus Ma'asi.
Our Chamorro people before us were in fact great navigators. Proceeds from the sale of the book will go to Guampedia and their efforts to preserve our island's culture and history. It is story time. We now present the legend of the boy who leaped from Guam to Rota. This legend will be told by Rufina Mendiola, Acting Director for the Guam Department of Education's Chamorro Language Division.
Buenas and half a day, inaanho si Rufina Feheran Mendiola. Historia pa bestorianzi ham to palgu, por elehendi puntan potgun. Estaba un tauto mona, inaanya si masala. Si masala guaha gimatnya. Igimatnya gaigi giinay gizatalagi, maaagang taragi. Si masala gof bani dosu na tauto mona. Guiza sumen donkulo, zan sumen metgut. Itamorong guahan, man maatnyaw as masala. Taza sinya o maatnyaw si masala. Guahaloqui si masala lahinya. Guiza ilahinya para usen donkulo, zan sen metgut. Banidoso gitituhon si masala por ilahinya. Banidoso gui saput sen donkulo lahinya. Gof tomtum loque ilahinya. Malofan tiempo da si masala matulaika shinintenya. Ha imbida ilahinya por idinang kolonya. Esta maulenya ilahinya ki guiza si masala. Si masala halii ilahinya giinay humogagandu. Estaba un kanna ipatgonya gi halon un hodzun panglaw. I otro kanay haguguot ihatson para uina ipanglaw. Za 3 años sa edad niya ilahinya. Hafa bidada mo gweno, ileknya si masala ilahinya para ufangoni panglaw. Lo azigwi ina zuzu gi maddo. Bakoni ya zuzu ileknya ipatgun. Persigi maonyo ipatgun asatonya. Sa malago para ihalum tono. Jatiatungo hafa na lalala lusitatonya no guiza. Tinatitizi astatonya hasta que motu Idos gizahinapsan. Tumatzo gipadgun. Hana sent tat kilo zan don kilo tat zoknya. Hagopi logo hasta Isla Nuta. Pogo na tempo sinya unlii unfegi. Winiguato gizahinapsan. Litek zangwahan. I otro fegi gangi gi Isla Nuta. Masasangan gi lehendi lokwe na estinapadgun. Ane humano para luta. Wiza imas medgut zan imas menhalub na tauto mo na magatlohin luta ina anya sitaga.
That is one of my favorite legends. Thank you, Rufina. Still to come here on Hestorian y Islata, Cali Cakery will show us how they make their latiza. You're watching Hestorian y Islata. Welcome back to the last episode in this 2016 Mes Timoru television celebration, Hestorian y Islata. I am Tiffany Kirigwa, Sidzus Masi for watching. Latiza. It is always the first dessert to disappear on a table. We all know it and we all love it. But something that mangi can't be easy to make, right? Well, let's see. Here is owner of Cali Cakery, Alicia Tovis Cali.
Half a day and welcome to Cali Cakery. I'm Alicia and today we have Colin. Today we are going to do our version of the latiza. Okay, we are going to start off with our cake. In our cake we have flour, sugar, baking powder, and a little bit of salt, just to give it a little bit of taste. We have water, oil, and some eggs. You just beat it up until all the ingredients are incorporated. And don't beat too much. If you overbeat your cake batter, it's going to end up flat. So just enough where you don't see any more powder. And as soon as that's done, you take your cake pan and you grease it a little. And we like to line it with parchment paper or wax paper so it doesn't stick. Okay, then we just pour it into the pan. And we preheat our oven to 350 degrees. As soon as that's in the pan, we go ahead and put it into the oven. And as that's baking, we can work on our custard. Put it in the oven. Now we're going to go ahead and work on our custard. Get all of these out of the way. Okay, now our custard. This is really what makes a latiza. It's really up to you how thick or how thin you like it. For me, I like it a little thin because when I refrigerate it, it kind of thickens up, and I like it to be so smooth that when you eat it, you're not eating jello. So, but it's really up to you. It's your preference, however you like it. So we start off with egg yolks, cornstarch, sweetened milk, sugar, and lots of milk. If you want it a little lighter, you can use less egg yolks and light milk. But who wants light latiza, right? We want it to taste as delicious as it can be. So we pour in all the milk. And the longest part about this is beating. When you're at the stove, you put your heat on. You start off with a little high heat and then kind of simmer it down to medium heat as it starts to heat up, but you have to stay at the stove. My mom taught me is you cannot leave that stove. You have to stand there and mix, 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 mix until all the ingredients thicken up on its own. So it's going to be about, we can go ahead and come here. It's going to be about maybe about 15 minutes that you're going to stand at the stove. So you stand there and you just beat, 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 beat. You just keep beating as fast as you can, and it starts to thicken up on its own. So let's say we move forward, and we're in it about 15 minutes. You'll know when it starts to get thick. The most important part is to keep the flavor when it starts to thicken, that's when you add your butter and your vanilla. So this flavor doesn't get lost in the ingredients, you save it for the end. So as it thickens up, you throw this in and you mix it up really well. And then when it's done, we don't like to wait for that to cool off, because if it cools off, it gets a little thick. We pull our cake and we cut them into slices. Now it's up to you again how thick or thin you want it. Colin will show you how to cut it. Let me just grab a knife. You can use any cake that you want. You don't have to follow our recipe. A lot of our Guamanians like to use sponge cake. We like to use a regular white cake that we make. So we cut it into strips like this, and we just put it into any pan. You can use any pan that you want, or tray. We usually use trays like this, and then we put it onto our tray. You just lay it out. Lay it out like this, thick or thin as you want. And then when that's done, you lay your custard all over. And after you're done laying your custard, you add a touch of cinnamon on top. And this is the end result. You can eat it warm, but I really suggest that you put it in the refrigerator and wait for it to cool, because it has a delicious, silky flavor when it's nice and chilled. Thank you for stopping by. I'm Alicia. Have a great day.
That looks delicious. Thank you, Alicia. Before we close out this episode of Hestorian y Islata, let us take a look at another of Guam's musical legends 2.0. With no further ado, we will now share with you Guam's musical legends 2.0, featuring Matt Laguatña. He is the son of one of Guam's musical legends, Mike Laguatña.
Buenas and half a day. I am Matt Laguatña, the son of the late great Mike Laguatña, and his music has influenced me by seeing the reality of the legacy you could actually leave behind from doing great things, going out and expressing yourself, not only musically, but also as an entertainer. I'm promoting and preserving the Chamorro music by going out and sharing my style of music with the experience of past Chamorro artists, sharing their music with the generation today, and hopefully having an impact to where they remember these songs and they push it forward to their children, their great-grandchildren, and so on and so forth, and keep the Chamorro heritage and spirit alive. Without further ado, I'm gonna play one of my dad's, or actually my dad's most famous song, known by pretty much everybody, the song Cantababui. So if you're out there and you know the words, go ahead and sing along in your living room or wherever you may be. Anyan holay tapenya, zongfago si patsenya, ya después de una hinanya, sinat gao salam lam ni fenya, nena na Cantababui. You wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent, nena, nena. You wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent. Zanyin mo tuan po puengi tilu tu nana south Thailand tu ni sikera sugunai no za na gui magogu anna humona humamastu pinatang no stai banaderu anaya plata himagogu I no quitelu nena na Kantababwe. You wonder where the alu went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent. Nena, nena. You wonder where the alu went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent. Tengai leng muga mui babui sigu tenga tinagi dan gemot kwam pupwengi aragui down asisti Anh hon lại ta bên nhà Don't phải có si phát trên nhà Ta después de nói na nhà Chỉ nát trong salom làm ni phê nhà Na na You wonder where the alu went When you brush your teeth with Pepsodent Na 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 You wonder where the alu went When you brush your teeth with Pepsodent Nana, nana. You wonder where the alu went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent.
Thank you so much, Matt, for sharing and keeping your father's passion of Chamorro music alive. Stay right there. We will be back to wrap up the series in a few minutes. Well, that is a wrap for the 2016 season of Hestorian y Islata. Thank you so much for watching these past 4 weeks. We hope that you have taken away more knowledge from this series of Guahan, Zani Tautautano, Zani Finu Chamorro. Mes Chamorro 2016 will soon come to an end, but please keep the Chamorro culture, language, and traditions of our ancestors alive by carrying on the Chamorro spirit every single day. Until next year, adios! Then Biba Tautautano, Biba Guahan, Biba Chamorro, Biba Mes Chamorro.